I'm Jake, and this is the story of a group of friends bonding during a camping trip.
I'm Max. This is the story of a night that we thought that we were going to die.
At the end of our high school, our friend group wanted to go camping to spend time together before we all went off to different colleges, though we both ended up at Northwestern.
I was away on a family trip, so was unfortunately unable to go. So as soon as I was back, I asked everyone again if they wanted to go, with me this time, and quickly everyone said yes.
Honestly, we were surprised you wanted to. Camping is the type of thing that seems like it would normally kind of scare Max.
Oh yeah? You think it would scare me? Why do you think that? Maybe like a group of 18-year-olds, out in the woods, middle of the night, far from civilization, plot of every horror movie, movie designed to be scary. Still can't believe I suggested it.
Allow me to explain. See, Max has a major case of FOMO, or the fear of missing out. Since the first camping trip was all we could talk about, the FOMO outweighed his fear, and he wanted to see what he'd missed out on. Including us, there were 9 total people who would be attending the second camping trip. 2 of them, however, Hannah and Matt, had to bow out of sleeping over at the last second due to unforeseen family commitments, so they left.
Hours later, around midnight, after some reminiscing around a quiet campfire, we moved into the tent and turned on a lantern. Our eyes were adjusted to the light, and our ears to the soft conversation. Suddenly, I heard rustling from outside the tent. I started to freak out, but everyone said it was probably just some raccoons and that I should just take a flashlight and scare them away.
But then, when he shined the flashlight out of the see-through netting at the top of the tent, a shadow darted through the beam. Max said,
I think it's bigger than a raccoon.
that must be a deer or something.
Jake said, incorrectly.
The rustling persisted, and as Max continued to search the darkness, he became more convinced that a person was running around outside of our tent.
Maybe it's other campers,
Max said.
We passed some other kids on our way over here. Maybe they're just messing with us.
Suddenly, louder rustling seemed to be coming from all directions outside. Little pebbles began to pelt the side of the canvas.
There were definitely people outside, and we were their target.
Max stood up.
This isn't funny! Go back to your campground!
For a moment, silence. Then, resounding across the forest. Max shined the flashlight around. In one of the trees, there was a small hatchet.
A hatchet! A very scary hatchet! Stuck in the tree, like how murderers do!
Yeah, it was weird.
Everyone's level of alarm shot through the roof as we leapt into action.
Max grabbed the zipper entrance of the tent and held it shut so that no one could enter as our friend Colby began searching his phone for the park ranger's number.
See, I felt like calling the police would have been faster, but no, taking more time to search for a less useful number definitely makes more sense.
Claire wanted to try to run for the car to get help,
But I just saw a hatchet in the tree, so no.
then Max's phone began to ring.
And the caller ID said, Jake Daniels is calling. But Jake said,
I left my phone in my car.
and then the headlights of Jake's car turned on, meaning the murderer was in Jake's car. And that I basically just saved Claire's life.
Max shouted at Colby.
Just call the police!
This is my Colby impression.
Park rangers are gonna be faster! I've almost found the number!
It sounds like him, you don't know him, but it sounds just like him.
I mean, what was he doing? Fuck park rangers, okay? I don't think their background is in murder prevention. Just call the police. Super easy number, no effort to find. It's just 911, you can't forget it, just call the police.
Yeah, okay, that was weird.
Okay, so we see 2 figures approaching us. We see an old man who kind of looks like Dick Cheney, and a man who had done his face up in makeup to look like the Joker. And it's like the Joker versus Dick Cheney. I'm not sure which is scarier, but either way, we're about to die. So they start trying to grab the zipper and open up the tent. And if I wasn't there holding it shut, they were gonna break in and kill us with their big, scary murderer tree hatchet.
It's not a big hatchet.
Who cares?
Let's rewind for a second. Yes, we were both on the brink of dying. Max from a terrifying serial killer, and me from laughter. You see, I haven't been completely honest with you. When Max asked us to go camping again, I kind of knew he was going to be afraid of it. And since he doesn't like horror movies, I, his best friend,
Ex-best friend.
thought, what if I put Max in a horror movie? So I orchestrated a night of fun, hatchet and all.
So there I am, thinking we're going to die. My heart's been racing nonstop for what feels like hours, and it's like, how could this still be going on? If you're gonna kill us, just do it already. There's no point in stringing it out.
Okay, so here's the thing. According to my plan, this night of terror was meant to end after like 10 minutes maximum, with the Joker and Dick Cheney opening the tent. They would take off their masks to reveal themselves as Matt and Hannah from before, whose family commitments were more like go watch Superbad for 2 hours.
My favorite movie, which they chose to watch without me.
FOMO, everybody. However, because Max was holding the tent's zipper shut,
To save my friends from a violent death.
they weren't able to open the tent. So, without any other end plan, instead of 10 minutes, this whole ordeal went on for about an hour and a half. Eventually, they just took their masks off outside the tent.
And it took me a second to recognize Matt and Hannah.
Max looked around at the rest of the group and said,
I can't believe you two just did that to all of us.
which is when every person in the tent other than Max started laughing.
Oh, fuck
You guys! I'd like to point out that when I texted all 7 others on this trip about this idea, they immediately leapt on it. It was not just me that did this. Everyone was excited and contributed their own scare ideas. The masks, all Hannah and Matt. The headlights on my car, that's a Claire original. We were actually all worried about Max calling the police for a while, but Colby told us he had it handled.
He showed us he'd been using his phone to play Flappy Bird. The whole time.
Look, I mean, perhaps some of you are thinking that I am the bad guy here. And yes, if just Jake wants to prank Max, then it's probably Jake's fault. But if 8 people want to prank Max,
Don't say it's Max's fault.
it's probably Max's fault!
So afterwards, the rest of the group went back to playing Never Have I Ever. Me, on the other hand, I was going through a lot right there. The betrayal of my friends, the confusion of the whole thing, and for the first time in 2 hours, thinking that I might not actually die. Like, I was quite possibly in literal medical shock.
Oh, you're fine.
And it's not just me. It was the thought of the death of all of my closest friends. I mean, Allison was supposed to go to Harvard in the fall.
We're all fine.
So, I was not really in the fun camp game kind of mood. I wanted everyone to take a minute and just think about what they had done. Wrong reaction!
Honestly, my biggest takeaway from all this is that Max can really be trusted in a high-pressure scenario. He was calling out orders to each of us, holding the tent shut so that we couldn't kill him, and taking command of the situation with a cool head. Thank you. You are welcome. For all of it.
See, my biggest takeaway is a little different. See, I thought I could trust my friends, you know, as friends. But no, clearly no. It's hard to trust people who use a hatchet to try and kill me. And that I should probably start looking into making some new friends.
But Max has got a major case of FOMO. So if our friend group was going to go camping again,
Yeah, I mean, I'd still go.
thanks.